there is growing frustration ahead of the launch of the Lance Alarme REM branch. It has led to results. This frustration has led to results in Vaudreuil-Soulanges, but only for a limited time. Local officials and commuters protested the planned cancellation and reduction of a popular express bus route, including the 40 Express and the 91 line, which many students and workers rely on daily to get to Montreal. Well, let's just try and get to the details here because it's a little confusing, to be quite honest. Paul Dumoulin is the mayor of Vaudreuil-Dorion, and he's on the line. Mayor Dumoulin, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you very much.
All right, let's try and get to some details here. So the REM is launching. It's the Lance Alarme branch, right, of the REM, launching on the 18th.
Exactly.
And they were going to remove bus lines on the same day, right? As they launched the REM, they want to get everyone onto the REM. They're getting rid of some express bus lines. Can you tell me what's happening here?
What's happening now that we noticed that the REM was coming in, okay? So for that, we knew about that. 2 years ago, the city of Vaudreuil-Dorion, we sent a resolution to the RTM to tell them at least keep those buses for a year because we know the REM when it started, and it's okay. It's a huge thing. It could happen that they have some problem when they started. So we said at least keep those two lines a year so everything would be able. So we sent a resolution 2 years ago. And because we have two councillors in Vaudreuil-Dorion, Mrs. Charama and Mrs. Leduc, they did a petition online and everything. So I was able to talk to them, to the RSTM, last Monday. They reply to our email 2 years after. So it's amazing.
So, okay, they've 2 years later, they've replied. That's great. But I've heard they're going to keep those bus lines at least for a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Like I told you, it's because of the petition and everything. So when I discussed with them last Monday, I said, 2 years ago, we asked you about it, and you came back 2 years after to tell us that you're going to keep it but they're going to keep it for 2 weeks because of the student that had to finish their exam and the worker and everything. So that's why we were asking them to at least a year, but now they go for 2 weeks. And during the discussion I had with them, I asked them, but I have a meeting with them next week to see what would be the cost to keep those bus line in, and they were not sure. So that's why I want to discuss with them because, I'm a new mayor. It's been only 6 months now. I've been councillor many years before. But to understand how it's worked with the Caisse de dépôt et placement, RTM, EXO, there's so many people to talk to and to have an agreement of something. So it's very hard. Puis le transport collectif is so complicated.
Yeah.
So that's why we want to. I want to know about how it's working because they are telling all the time that we are some partnership with us, but it's not partnership. Us, we are there to pay the bills. We are there to pay the deficit of the RTM. So that's why I want to sit down with them and to understand what's going on with the transport collective.
They say this is going to make public transit better, right? They say at the end of the day, we're going to end up with a better system. Do you not believe it? Like that what we end up with will be better than what you had?
It could be a little bit, for sure. With the REM, it's okay, but the way they applicate the rules, if we talk. Because I asked them the question Monday. Why? Because they say, they have some finance issue and it's important and everything, but they don't understand that the student they're gonna have to pay more because they're gonna take the people, the citizen from Vaudreuil-Dorion, the Gare Vaudreuil-Dorion, they're gonna bring it to the REM. Mm-hmm. And after that, you're gonna have to pay more to go further. So that's why they try to save money, but they don't understand that the student and the worker will have to pay more, twice, even 3 times more than they are paying now. And if we think about it, because I'm trying to understand how it's worked now, it's because of la Caisse de dépôt et placement.
Yes.
That's the main thing. Okay, they have to bring some people at the REM, and they pay more to be able to reimburse what they own to the Caisse de dépôt. But do we have to pay everything? And it's so big, RTM, EXO, it's so big, even though that in Vaudreuil-Dorion we have a hospital that is being built now, we asked them, there's no bus at all that will go to the hospital. So we asked them what we're going to do. So after that, after talking to them about the hospital, they sent us like a previous travel for the buses, but they're asking the city of Vaudreuil-Dorion to pay $1.5 million per year to have those buses. So that's why I'm telling you, all the transport collectif in the area, in Vaudreuil-Soulanges, we have to think about it. We have to discuss about it, what's happening with that. Because in the old time, we had Transport La Presqu'île in Vaudreuil-Soulanges, and we were making money with those transports. They were giving back some money after each year. So how come now we have to pay? So and we don't think that we have what we deserve with what we pay.
And of course, I know the concerns that for a lot of commuters, the students, workers, it's going to take them longer to get where they need to go under this new system.
Yeah, this is also one of the main things. They're going to take about probably half to an hour
longer
on the morning and on the night.
Wow. Okay.
So it's amazing, and there's a lot of work here because we did a conférence de presse on Monday morning there, and we noticed that in the morning also a lot of workers coming from the West Island to work in Vaudreuil-Dorion. So
let me ask you this, because I do this show every day, and there's been other parts of the REM that have launched, and I remember this sounds very similar to what happened in the South Shore. Now, we had South Shore residents, and they're like, man, we're losing our buses. Some of us had one bus direct from the corner down the street right to downtown. Now we've got to take the REM. I heard similar complaints, and the response was, sorry, not gonna change. You got to use the REM. So don't you feel at the end of the day, the REM is going to do what they've done in other places and say, sorry, but not sorry. You're going to have to get on the REM.
Yeah, but I think we have to discuss why. The way they did it. First of all, the way they did it, they wait 2 years to discuss with us about those two lines. And if they were not about Mrs. Leduc and Mrs. Charmant, probably they wouldn't have done anything at all. So that's why we have to sit down and explain it to me why. Because they don't want to say why. They were supposed at Lance Alarme, they were supposed to be a parking lot of 2,000 cars, but now they did 200 cars. Okay, we understand that they want people to get in the buses and to go to Lance Alarme to pay other fee to be able to have more money for la caisse de dépôt. It's all like, this is my way I understand, because like I told you, I'm new in this thing. I have to understand. But we have to sit down and say where my money is going. Why are they asking me $185 on my plate, and I don't have any more service than I had before? And you know that the government is putting money in the deficit until 2028. 2029, the deficit will be all paid by the city, all the city. So. Jeez. We have to sit down and talk about, is it too big? Is it too big now?
Will you get that meeting in the next 2 weeks? Is that going to happen?
I have a meeting next week that we agree on. We're looking for the day. I asked a question about a few questions that we have, how it's working, because, they were always talking about I don't know if it's a word, but a non-concurrence.
Yeah, no-compete clause? Non-compete clause?
No-compete clause. We know that this is on Brossard side, okay, for the Pont Champlain. Yeah. On those sides, it's okay. But on our side, EXO were always telling us this, and when I asked the question last Monday to the RRTM, it was not as sure as EXO explained it to us. So I'm looking now, we're probably going to have to pass by the Accès à l'Information to have this to see what is writing on this, to see it, because the RFTM was not sure. So can we have a competition to be able to have some buses lined?
Well, Mayor Dulin, we'll be keeping track of this one. I have to leave it there. I want to thank you so much. Clearly, you're passionate about the subject, and I appreciate you coming on.
I'm trying to understand everything about it, sir. Thank you very much for letting us explain it.
It's our pleasure. That's the mayor of Vaudreuil-Dorion, Paul Dumoulin, right there.
Canadian women are looking for more. more out of themselves, their businesses, their elected leaders, and the world around them.
And that's why we're thrilled to introduce the Honest Talk podcast.
I'm Jennifer Stewart.
And I'm Catherine Clark. And in this podcast, we interview Canada's most inspiring women.
Entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, politicians, and newsmakers, all at different stages of their journey.
So if you're looking to connect, then we hope you'll join us.
Listen to the Honest Talk podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to your podcasts.